Hello and welcome back to episode 16 of the Second Take podcast. And as you can see, we do have a special guest today, Nick Green.
Very special.
Give it up for Nick. Give it up for Nick.
Thank you
New
very much.
Zealander.
My first question to Nick, obviously, is because I actually do not know this. Where do your NBA loyalties lie right now?
Well, that's very funny you asked this, and you'll see why. So, I didn't think I was gonna have to do this, especially this early. But, however,
Oh, he's committing to it.
Oh God!
however,
Oh, no
Wait, can we
way!
end the podcast?
Just me. No way! You're lying. You're literally lying.
Wait, what?
Oh,
no, I'm joking.
from
I'm
the
joking.
magic to this.
I'm not a Warriors fan. I'm not a Warriors fan.
Thank
I'm not a Warriors
God.
fan. I just
That
had
was
to
like he
bring
was
that
committing
out.
to a college.
I just had to bring
Oh.
that out. I just had to bring that out for this. No.
Oh, thanks, man.
Um,
Thanks, man.
I am an NBA fan, right? So
Gotcha.
with that means I'm not
The
gonna
Lakers
take
fan.
credit for like a team that wins a championship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Lakers won a championship, but I'm not like, oh, my team won the championship. You know what I mean?
I see.
So it's like a win-win, lose-lose. You know, I'm not like I've never been as like dedicated to a team as you guys have. So until now. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
You live in LA, Nick, is all I'm saying. So like you can legit you have the absolute like justification to root
I
for
know
the
that.
Lakers.
I just think it's like too late to like fully commit to like one team and
So
like, claim it, you know? So
Yeah. So in like a decade when the dynasty's over, you can
yeah, then I can hop on. Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
Then I can hop on.
Okay.
Wow,
First-
I cannot believe I got that off so
Oh,
early.
nice.
I know.
Nice,
It wa-
dude.
Wow.
Have you seen those college
Okay.
videos where like the wide receivers and like Georgia always like
Yeah, they
their whole
commit to-
family like
They all commit to
takes
Ohio
off his
State
sweatshirt.
because we have the best recruiting class like all the time, except for Bama. But okay, NBA season is starting in a couple weeks, and right now I want to go through each of your award predictions and finals predictions. The Nets did look very good today. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay,
Can we preface something first?
sure.
So if Ryan seems a little down today or right now, it's because the Steelers lost. We're gonna talk about that later or like next week, but I just want to just make sure if you feel like
it doesn't matter.
a gloomy feel to this podcast coming from Ryan,
But I also expected us to lose last week, so
Okay, Alex, let's start with you. Let's start with your award predictions for
are
the
we doing
NBA
an
season.
executive? You want to start with executive?
Oh, nice, Rob Pelinka. Oh, nice.
Because Rob Pelinka is definitely gonna win. I just don't understand how you don't pick Rob Pelinka.
Sam
It's
Presti
true.
winning
I mean,
19
you would give it to
first-round
Rob
picks.
Pelinka. Okay, and then I also think for Coach of the Year, Rick Carlisle will win it. I think if he continues the offense, I think Luka, because I think with Luka bouncing, because I'm gonna bounce this off to my next pick. I think Luka Doncic is gonna win MVP. I think a lot of people have him winning MVP, and I think that's gonna boost Rick Carlisle, of course. For Defensive Player of the Year, should I keep going with all my picks?
Yeah.
Okay. With Defensive Player of the Year, I think Anthony Davis is gonna win it. It was between him and Bam. I'll be honest. It would be kind of cool to see Bam win it, but I think I want AD to win it. And then for Most Improved, is that an official award or is that just?
Yeah.
Okay. For Most Improved, I think either Michael Porter Jr. or Shai is gonna win it. Or Shea. Is that Shea, right? Or
Shea,
yeah. Shea, Gillis Alexander. I think they're both gonna just elevate their game to the next level. I just think Michael Porter Jr. He shows glimpses of just superstar, like X Factor in a way. I think he'll average. His max I think is probably gonna be around like 27. I think he could honestly average around 27 points. 26. I'll retract that a little bit.
that's
But I think
for a game, so it balances out.
yeah. But I think it will be a little hard to show that with the offense he's already in. I think like there's already Jamal and Jokic. So, but then what else is there?
Rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year, LaMelo Ball is taking that.
I
I'm
knew
convinced of that. I know he didn't score a single point in the game the other day.
I knew
However, you saw the passes he was making. Very few
4
people can make
assists.
that.
you
Henry, like 11 boards
now.
now.
Oh,
Caitlin
such a
had
good
4
passer.
assists today.
Next Magic Johnson.
He had 11 boards. Is all I'm saying.
10.
10. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
come on, bro.
At least he should got some stats.
All right. Well, I think LaMelo is still gonna take that.
6
He has a high ceiling. I think people know that too. I think coming from Australia with just pure men and not 18-year-old babies, is gonna just definitely show his strength and like what he can do. Like you saw the fact that like how much does he weigh? He's like 185 maybe, and he's 6'8". Like the fact that he got that many boards, I think is like pretty impressive. And then what is most improved player? Is that no? We already got that.
Yeah, I think he
Comeback
got all
play.
of them.
I think yeah, 6-man. Oh yeah,
Oh,
6-man.
Yeah.
Montrezl Harrell is gonna win that. I think he'll win that again. He won't start in the Lakers, of course, because he's just a 6-man. I would have Dennis Schroeder, but he's gonna start hopefully. But yeah, I think that's those are my picks. So if anybody wants to refute anything after, but yeah,
Do you want Schroeder to start, or do you think he's better off?
right now I do. Yeah, I want Schroeder to start right now. I think it would be kind of cool.
It's LeBron, AD, Mark, Dennis, and who else do you think?
Caruso, I guess. Or
KCP?
Or
KCP.
KCP probably.
KCP probably, yeah.
And
Yeah.
Caruso's making all defensive second team.
He will.
Can
Yeah.
I do mine
Wow.
because mine are very similar to Alex's.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my coach of the year is Rick Carlisle because I think Luka's gonna win MVP. Because for me, it was between Luka and Giannis because Giannis is obviously he's just like the man in the regular season. But I think that he realized like the thing he said about LeBron about how he was the MVP, but LeBron's the best player in the world. I think he understands that, and like the regular season stats don't matter as much. And with Drew Holiday on the team, I think he's going to take some of the ball handling away from him. I mean, he will. So I think his stats are going to go down a little bit, and Luka's just going to get so much better. And my rookie of the year, maybe a controversial pick. I said Bull because he's eligible to win rookie of the year because he didn't
All
play
right.
bubble. And like he, with his height, he's a guarantee. Like assuming he's gonna be a starter, which he probably will be because Jeremy Grant's gone, he's like a guaranteed at least 8 boards a game. And then you have him at least like if he just gets like enough dump offs from Jokic, or like lobs from Jamal Murray, he's gonna average like 14 and 8 or something, or like 14 and 9. And I mean, like, if the number one pick was more of someone who liked to play basketball, then maybe I would pick them. But I don't think that, like, none of the top 3 picks, I think, are like obviously gonna show to be enough to the point where I would pick them over Bobo, who I think is guaranteed to at least have like 10 and 8 per game.
He also shot 44% from 3, so that's
good.
pretty impressive.
He's in their practice facility in the recent videos. He's been playing so well. 6-man of the year, I said Lou Williams. It hurts me to say that, but I mean Trez is not going to be like dominating the paint as much because of AD playing, and Schroeder's going to take some points away from him. Like Trez was he was basically the third option on that team. On the Lakers, he's realistically probably the 4th option. And with LeBron handling the ball, the chances are that he's going to prioritize passing it out to like KCP or something rather than dumping it off to Trez. And then defensive player of the year, I said AD because since Trez is on the team, AD is going to play the 5 more. So he's going to be at the rim more. And he already averaged like he already averaged like a whole block more than Giannis last year, and I assume he's going to be playing by the rim more this year. So yeah. And then most improved player, I said Shea because he's going to have the ball. His usage rate is going to be much higher than it was last year. So
I like that.
Okay.
Solid picks, Ryan.
Yeah, I don't
Nick,
know. If I
Just
have-
like Ben's picks this past Steelers game, Steelers Bills game.
There's
He
two
threw
of them,
several-
which is pretty good for him, honestly.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
give it up for Ben.
Yeah. Maybe
Okay.
just one pick six. I shouldn't be talking about pick sixes. My
He
bad.
had- he had
Okay.
27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions before today. That is significantly better than your quarterback.
My bad.
Not
All right,
Jared.
Nick, would you like
Not
to-
Jared.
He got passes 70 times a game. And his
Jared sucks.
Hey, a good game is he has an even ratio.
offensive coach, mind you.
That's
This is true. Okay, Nick, would you like to proceed with your award picks for this
Would you like me
season?
to go next? I can go next
Yes.
if you want me to. MVP, don't fool yourselves. It's Giannis. They're going to be the number 1 team in the East. Drew Holiday makes them pretty much a lock for that. I think even though the Nets are good, they still have a lot of coaching issues and chemistry maybe. The Bucks are going to be number 1, and Luka. Yeah, people could say that, but the West is so tough. He's going to be playing against a lot of really good teams, especially defensively this year. And just people know how to play that. Another thing with Giannis is that he's going to play a lot whenever he can, and I think they're going to be not cautious with Luka, but I think Giannis just wants to play more than him every game, and he's going to go harder every game, and that's why his numbers are going to be so good. So it's a sad pick because you'd like to see something different, but I don't think so. Coach of the year, I think this team's really going to take a big jump, and he's going to be the reason why. Doc Rivers. Philadelphia is going to take a bigger jump this year, and they have more shooting. Ben's going to be a lot better because of where Doc puts him in the spacing around him. Joel's going to have whatever he wants. And I think after the Bucks, I think in the regular season there's some room to move up. I don't think the Raptors are going to be as good. We'll see about what Miami and Boston can do. But I think Philly's a really good team, especially in the regular season. And they're going to put together wins to give him that. So, defensive player of the year, mine is Bam Adebayo. This might be recency bias, but he's going to switch a lot, which is something you can't say about a lot of bigs. He's going to block shots and get steals. He's going to guard the best player on the perimeter sometimes. He's just really good. I mean, there's nothing you can say about him that you haven't already seen in the playoffs last year. And people know what he is now. So I think the voters are gonna allow that. For Rookie of the Year, I really wanted to think about who's gonna have the most opportunity, because I think that's a really big thing for rookies who win Rookie of the Year, like Ja last year, Malcolm Brogdon when he won it, and guys like that who become a bigger part of their team. And I'm not sure how many guys are going to start as a rookie, but I know one is guaranteed, and he's already played pro basketball, and that's Killian Hayes. He's played I think he played in Germany.
France.
Or France. He played in France. But Dwayne Casey, the coach of the Pistons, has made it known that Killian Hayes will be the starting point guard, and Derrick Rose is okay with mentoring him and coming off the bench. He's going to have weapons to use, and he's going to get great mentorship, and he's going to get time. And I think that's a huge thing for Rookies of the Year. And he's already a professional, so I think he can step into the role nicely. He hasn't had great preseason games, but it's a regular season award, so I don't see him taking a backseat there. Most improved. I think this is a pretty popular pick. DeAndre Ayton is my most improved pick. Chris Paul is going to give him whatever he wants at the rim. He has played with a good passing point guard, but no one who's going to push him like Chris Paul will. The eyes are going to be off him because they're on Paul and Booker and the other guys that they have, and it's just going to leave a lot for Ayton. He's going to really excel because of how hard he's being pushed this year, and the standard that the Suns are going to be set at, which is something that he hasn't experienced in his career yet. And then for Sixth Man of the Year, I didn't want to go conventional here, and I think this is a guy that's going to be used a lot in the fourth quarter. This team doesn't have a lot of good bigs, and he finished games in the playoffs last year in the bubble. Norman Powell. I think he's going to take a big jump. Maybe statistically, I'm not sure, but he's going to be very impactful for them playing in fourth quarters. That's what they like to do. That's what Nick Nurse showed last year. And, even when they had Mark and Serge, they still played Norman. He showed up big for them. And, yeah, sixth man of the year. There you go. I think those are slightly controversial, but, I didn't want to be too basic besides Giannis. So, there we go.
I have a point of confusion that I would
Okay.
address. Just a question. So you mentioned the bigs. Norman Powell's a guard.
Yeah.
So are you saying like they're using their bigs less and using him more?
Yeah, what I'm saying is like they don't have bigs in the fourth quarter that they want to play, so they're gonna go smaller and be able to switch more on the perimeter in the fourth quarter, which matters a lot. And they've used him like that last season, and I bet they'll do the same thing, especially with less options. That's kind of what I'm saying. So,
I think
Yeah.
Killian Hayes is the one. I didn't even know that.
is what?
The one at
Yeah.
Pistons. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, then LiAngelo just got cut. That's breaking news before like 2
So
hours
sad.
podcast.
And he like to get mentored by Derrick Rose is also gonna be
Yeah.
really good for him. Even if he doesn't win Rookie of the Year, he's gonna be a really, really like reliable player.
Right. That's one of the main reasons why I picked him.
I had LiAngelo Ball before he was cut.
Oh,
Just switch it up last minute. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was cut. I had to call an audible, and it was just like,
just go with the other brother.
Yeah.
yeah, I had to.
Okay, my first pick. I need to make a point with this pick.
OB
Executive of the
topic.
year is
Oh.
Sam Presti. Okay,
Okay.
I don't care if they don't win any
What did,
games.
what did you just
I
say?
like
Yo,
What did you just say?
I love it.
Executive of the year is Sam Presti.
performance.
We,
The rest of your
I'm not sure what this award exactly entails because it's new, but in terms of the job you have as a general manager to put your team in position to be successful for years to come,
yeah, but in
Sam
7
Presti
years,
did the best job of that.
7 years,
Yes,
they're not
but
in
it's
a position to win this year.
Okay, I'm not sure what this
Executive-
entails. I'm just saying
I mean,
that he did
For,
his
for
job the
coach of the
best.
year, you don't give it to a guy that coached his rookie well and won.
that's like that's like saying like
Well, that's
Luka
not
should've
necessarily the
won
coach's
MVP.
job. The coach's
That's like-
job is to
that's
win
like saying
games. The
Luka-
general manager's
that's like-
job is to make the team better for the future.
No, it's
No,
Or
that's like saying Luka
unless
should've
someone
won
signs with
MVP.
you like LeBron, and then you build pieces around him and not draft well at all for years
No,
and years.
Max,
and
that's a
years and
stupid
years.
statement. I'll be honest.
And that's why I don't
Max-
respect the Lakers as a franchise. Okay, we'll
Max,
get
that's
to
like
that.
that's why Luka. That's like saying Luka should have won the MVP in his rookie season because he was gonna win MVP in a couple years, or like he's
No,
setting himself
no,
up.
not
for
at all.
Yes, it is the same thing because
No,
they're not
at
good
all.
right now.
That's
They're
dumb.
not
That
good
makes
right
no
now.
sense.
Raptors won the championship was the Raptors executive because he made a team that won the championship.
Hey, okay. Sixth man of the year, Dylan Gallinari.
Nice.
They're gonna start using John Collins a little less because I've heard some rumors that they're gonna trade him and he doesn't really work with Trae Young, which I don't really see how that can happen because he can finish at the rim. He's a great shooter. Like I just don't know how, but Gallinari is a pretty good option off the bench. He finished games with OKC last year at the 5, which is kind of good. I mean, if they don't feel comfortable finishing games with Okongwu or Capella at the 5, he can fill that role in very well, and obviously he can score, shoot the ball. So that's my sixth man of the year. Going in a weird order, I guess, but most improved. I had Brandon Clark, but I think DeAndre Ayton makes more sense. Brandon Clark, I think, was a great pick. I loved that pick a couple years ago, and I knew he was going to be what he is. But DeAndre Ayton, I think, makes a little more sense.
Well, yeah.
But I just didn't think of him.
The problem with Brandon Clark is that he's not going to start almost
Yeah.
ever, and
I know.
he's going to finish games, but Valanciunas is good enough to take minutes away from him.
Mhm.
So Aiden's just going to get so much opportunity that
Yeah,
almost
that made more sense.
yeah.
Coach of the year, speaking of the Suns, Monty Williams.
Wow.
Okay,
Great. I think the Suns are going to make
that's a
great
solid
jump.
pick.
they're gonna make a huge jump. I love that team. I think it works at every level. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, DeAndre Ayton.
What
That is
seed in
such
the
a solid
playoffs? You think?
five. I
Yeah,
mean,
good
just because the
question.
West is so strong.
Yeah,
I
that's
see
what I mean.
That's the
five,
only
4
thing that
seed.
could stop
You
them.
think
Four.
a 4 seed?
I think they can get up there, yeah, but like
Wow.
nothing higher than that. And I can
That's
see them going
ambitious.
lower. But Devin Booker, I think, is going to be also an MVP candidate, hinting at something in the future.
Oh,
But,
please pick him. Please pick him.
No, I'm not. He's going to be up there.
Wait, no, he should win though, right? Because he's like potentially an MVP. Like,
Yeah,
I
they're-
he
mean,
could
did
win.
average, what,
He
like
could
27
win.
last year.
so he will be good enough one day to win MVP.
Oh yeah. And
Therefore, he should win MVP.
Rookie of the year, James Wiseman. I think that the Warriors, as much as I hate them, Steph has never played with a dominant big, and neither is Draymond. And those two are both excellent passers, and they made bigs like Andrew Bogut, who was a little different. Andrew Bogut, Kevon Looney. They made them look like good centers, just catching lobs, dump down passes. And Wiseman is a lot more skilled than Looney or Bogut or any center they've ever had. So I think it's a great fit. I think he's going to be surrounded with a ton of weapons like Wiggins too. So I don't know. I feel like he's going to get a lot of opportunity on a pretty decent team, I'd say. Not a contender, but a decent team. So yeah, that's my pick for the rookie of the year.
That was shade. That was so subtle.
Defensive player of the year, Anthony Davis. He got robbed this year. They'll give it to him next year, even if he doesn't deserve it, just because they just make up for it. MVP, I was thinking about this for a while, and I don't want to say Giannis. I don't want to say Luka. So I'm saying Kevin Durant, which is a little weird.
Wow.
Which is a
I
little
haven't heard
weird.
that. Yeah.
Because I think Kyrie knows that it's not his team. I think he knows he can't lead a team.
I don't think he knows that.
If he does know, well,
He doesn't
has
know.
to.
He does not know that.
He has to know it. What happened in Boston? That was his
He doesn't
team, right?
care. It
What
wasn't
did
his
they do?
fault, I guess.
He knows. He thinks it wasn't his fault.
Know
Yeah.
that Kevin Durant was a man possessed in the finals and in the playoffs. No, not the finals, the playoffs.
He's
before
coming
he
off an
got-
injury though, right?
Literally averaging 45 before he got hurt. I think he'll be the exact same, if not maybe a little worse. But MVP Kevin Durant. The
Nice.
likelihood of that actually happening is very low.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to say Kate. I just don't want to say Giannis or Luca. So that's my pick.
Really good. Like in terms of in terms of value to their team, I feel like that could end up being like the right choice, just because he's gonna play the 3, the 4, and the 5, and he's gonna be scoring like 20, it's like high 20s, but I just think that he's not gonna put up more than like
Yeah, statistically, he's not going to be insane like the other two.
Luka's gonna be averaging like 39 and 9. Giannis is gonna be averaging like 34, 14 and 6. It's just gonna be like,
Yeah.
it's hard to outmatch that.
Can I add a dark horse candidate for rookie of the year, which I firmly believe? I think Obi Toppin will average
God.
16 to 21 points on that Knicks team and around 6 boards. And I think you guys are down. I believe me, I thought he was the most like unattractive player going into the draft. But like some of the glimpses he has shown in the preseason, I know that's ambitious, basing this award off the preseason. I still think that the physicality he plays with is very impressive. It's almost Zion-like. I think he could
Oh
be.
my goodness.
It's almost Zion. I said it's almost Zion.
Almost Zion like.
That's like
No, I mean,
half
like,
of
Okay,
that.
Anthony-
I'm not gonna say anything.
No, I mean the way he dunks is almost. Have you seen him dunk?
I have.
Yes, that's the only thing he can do.
He's dunked about twice.
Yeah.
Shoot, pass, defend, any of those?
That's fine. He's a scorer. He's a scorer and board getter.
Scorer from
Okay.
0
He's
to
a
2
glass
feet away
cleaner.
from the rim.
He's a glass cleaner. What?
He's a scorer from 0 to 2 feet away from the rim.
This is true.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. He has
no,
RJ.
it's
Barrett.
not.
Spread
How
the
is that fine, dude?
guys. Hey, you guys are criticizing my take now. I predicted the Nuggets would beat the Clippers. Also, Max
This is
cut it out
true.
of the podcast.
Okay.
I don't know
Well,
why
because the reason you said was so dumb.
So let's just move on. I
You
was
just
that's-
started listing the
No, let's-
players, and you're like,
no,
"Oh,
fine,
he's
that's
good.
fine.
He's good.
Let's
He's
move
good."
on.
And you
Alex
were like,
Sagad
delete
at
that.
predicting
It
things.
made no sense.
You guys are gonna watch Obi average around 16 to 21 points. You heard it here first.
21
6 boards.
points.
I mean,
What?
Marcus Morris was averaging 20 last year with the Knicks, so you never know.
But he's good.
Obi is good
Obi's
too.
not
Okay.
really.
Hey,
The Knicks have 7 power forwards.
I hate
Hey,
Obi.
Denny did look good today, though.
Yeah, he looked fine.
Yeah.
Are you done? Coach of the year?
I said Monty Williams. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
you did?
done.
Is that it? Okay. Okay.
Okay,
The only thing-
finals picks now.
Oh,
What'd you say?
I was just gonna add the only thing that I didn't pick Anthony Davis. I'm the only one here who didn't, and the only reason why is because I don't think he's gonna play every game, and that might be a knock on not his stats, not his per game stats, but I think if Bam's doing it consistently or somebody else is doing it consistently, I don't think they'll be willing to give half a season of AD defensive player of the year. That's the only thing.
The load management on the Lakers is like definitely needed and like is definitely gonna happen because it should happen.
I don't think there's going to be as much this year just because there's a shorter season and the West.
And you also get fined a lot of money if you do it
You have
with
to
certain
play on
games.
national television games, and a lot of the Lakers games are going to be on national television.
Yeah, I know, but when they can, I think they will they'll manage the minutes more meticulously than they have before. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just because LeBron's
sense.
what 38 now, 36.
It's 36, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, finals picks time.
Okay.
Yeah. You start.
We'll
Matt.
go in the same order. Alex,
Oh, okay.
Lakers and who? Just tell me.
I'm gonna be pretty stereotypical in this. I'm gonna choose Lakers Nets. I think a lot of people have that. I know it's a little boring, but the finals would be kind of cool. I think kind of fun seeing Kyrie versus LeBron, KD versus LeBron again. It's almost like a movie. It'd be kind of cool. And then we would take the series in about 6, I would say. And yeah, that's my pick. So.
All right, Ryan, would you also?
Mine's also Lakers Nets. I think the reason I was between Nets and Bucks, but it came down to I can go into a playoff game believing that Kevin Durant can score 35 points if he wants to, and I can also go into a playoff game believing that Giannis may have 13 points in a playoff game because he's just too one-dimensional to stop to be able to dominate in the playoffs. And I want to see Anthony Davis versus Kevin Durant. Really, I want to see Anthony Davis guarding Kevin Durant. And I think I was debating between Lakers in 6 or Lakers in 7, but it came down to I don't know who on the Nets is guard LeBron, because if KD's guarding AD, then LeBron is just on his own, and if KD's guarding LeBron, then AD's just Jared Allen and DeAndre Jordan are good, but
they have Joe Harris.
Torian Prince.
All right. Anyways,
You don't think Jeff Green can hang with AD?
Lakers, I feel like wouldn't have an issue with it, but it's gonna come down to for 30 minutes a game, it's gonna be Kyrie on Dennis Schroeder, and I don't know if I think that's gonna be a good matchup. So I'm gonna say Lakers in 7.
Okay. Well, I think the clear top 2 in the East are the Bucks and the Nets. I thought about doing something different, but I think the reason that the Bucks are going to be the Eastern Conference champions is because the reasons they got out last year are that they couldn't defend Miami's offense and their guards in particular, and that their coaching was terrible and they played too many people, and they didn't give Giannis enough minutes. They addressed both of these by getting Jrue Holiday and shortening their rotation. They're going to force Budenholzer to be a good coach in the playoffs this year because he has no other option. They're going to force him to play his stars. They got Torrey Craig, who can guard people now at a very good level. Kawhi and Paul George are examples of that last year. And the Nets would be my pick if they had a more experienced coach who knew how to navigate a playoff run, especially with 2 stars who are going to be not egotistical, but want their own way. and I don't think Steve Nash is capable of that in his first year. I bet he's a fine coach, but I don't think he's ready to take this. This is a big challenge for him. Kyrie and KD, this is a huge challenge for a first year coach. And he's not going to get out coached by Budenholzer, but I think the Bucks are just this might be the year. I don't love the pick. Something else would be cool.
It's an Obi type pick, I'll be honest, but
Okay.
Just said Obi was a sleeper for rookie of the year. Well, are you
But,
bashing on
I
your
mean,
boy?
no, I mean it's like a non-attractive pick is what I mean.
It's not.
Like Isaac Okoro.
But it's not a dumb pick.
It's not a dumb pick, no.
Obi's gonna average.
Obi's not a dumb pick, first of all.
Dumb pick.
I mean, Obi at 8 was not a dumb pick. Obi at 5 would have been a dumb pick by the Cavs, but luckily we didn't.
Isaac Okoro is going to average about
coming of
8
LeBron.
points.
Isaac
Yeah,
Okoro.
but Isaac Okoro doesn't matter because he's the best defender in the draft.
This is true.
He's Clem.
This is not going to be a very popular pick among
I'm
these
so
people.
excited. I'm so excited. Give me the
I might leave the meeting depending on what.
Let's start in the East because I think that will be
Great
less
choice.
controversial.
Great choice. Great choice.
The Cavs will give the 1 seed a fight this year, regardless of who it is. I just need to see that. I just need to say that.
My God. Okay.
I want us to be a fringe playoff team, but like, it's just hard to think that we might be starting Chetty Osman and might be going to the playoffs. Okay, so coming out of the East, I like the Sixers. I picked them last year before the Simmons injury. Now I think they are a better team. Bucks, Nick kind of covered them in what I had on them. Nets, I think, are the deepest team and the best and the most talented team. Like you forget about guards like Dinwiddie and LeVert off the bench. Like that's just so much scoring. Like they might not be the best defensively, especially with defensive wings, because Kyrie, Dinwiddie, or LeVert can't play defense. But I think that's just there's so much offensive talent on that team that I just don't really see them being contained. Also, Miami, like I don't think it was a complete fluke if Tyler Hero can progress like a Devin Booker, like people are saying he can. I can see them making a run, but to be honest, I do think it was a little bit of a fluke. And now the West.
So who's your pick?
Suns.
I said the Nets. The Nets.
You picked them? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you said
And then out
the
of-
Clippers, I'm gonna slap you.
The West. It's hard for me to pick the Lakers. I got to be honest. As much as I am a LeBron fan
their
and I do
superstar
not see
talent?
him losing before the finals, I'm going to say the Clippers.
What does that even mean? As much as you're a LeBron fan and you can't
Okay.
see losing before the finals, you're gonna pick them?
Because of this reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think 90% of the reason, other than Montrez's lack of height against Jokic, the main reason they lost against the Nuggets is because they were so solely focused on beating the Lakers all season. That's all they cared about. They made billboards about it. The NBA created this rivalry. I think the Lakers didn't buy into it at all. I think the Clippers bought into it like with everything. They're like, oh, this is Big Brother. We got to knock them off. And then, well, we're up 3-1. We're just waiting for the Lakers now, right? And now they are a little thinner on the bench, obviously with Trez gone, but Trez was a minus for them against the Nuggets, not a plus. So I don't know. I think that they were humbled last year, and I think they have a lot to prove, and with not much to lose. Well, the Clippers organization as a whole do, because if Kawhi leaves next year, they are screwed for years.
Oh yeah.
But
Wait, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What would have been better in this? Like, let's say the Clippers play the Nuggets now.
Mhm.
They would do better because they
Yeah.
don't have Trez, is what you're claiming?
Okay, can I?
Who are they playing?
Okay. Do you want me to explain why they got shellacked in those fourth quarters and second halves mostly?
Because
So
Paul
the way
George
you
and
beat
Kawhi can't make a
Jokic-
three.
That is a big reason why, but I don't think that'll happen again. Which actually Paul George will probably, but Kawhi won't. The
Playoff
reason they lost that series is because they made Jokic a passer, not a scorer. The way you beat Jokic is to, like, if he scores 30, so be it. Like, But the way you don't beat him is he gets 20 and you bring doubles, and then he hits a guy in a corner. He hits like a wide open shooter in the corner, wide open shooter up top. Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, like shooters all around him everywhere, and he can see the whole floor at all times. So that's too, and they're too good of a shooting team to do that. So I think people know that, and they should know that.
I think that if the team is so much better, they would adjust after 7 games. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Clippers, they still are a super, super talented team. Kawhi is a great player.
You think Ty Lue will make a difference?
That was my question.
Yeah,
Ty Lue, I watched many things with
Just
Kevin Love and Kyrie, and he said that in the regular season, Tyronn Lue did not care. He like basically didn't say anything like the whole game, and then in the playoffs, the man was locked in with his X's and O's and his adjustments, and he watched a ton of film. So I think
like
he's
a normal coach.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So that
I
just
think
means
he is a great playoff coach.
He was a
I think he's a great playoff coach, but regular season, just like the Cavs team, they'll probably be underperforming in the regular season.
What game plan did they ever have in Cleveland?
I mean,
Ever.
you could. Okay, we dominated the East every single year. I don't think game planning would have done
Was that a
much against the
coach-
Warriors.
No, because you could see that even
Okay,
Vogel,
it was a coaching and the players thing. It was a thing that he kind of just installed into them. Like, okay, now it's time to lock in.
I don't
We
think he
blew-
installed that because
I
if
think he did to a certain extent.
no,
because you
Vogel,
didn't-
even Vogel,
Because you didn't see that with the black teams. You did not see that with the black team. So that's what that's my
okay,
my
but
thinking about this.
Frank. I'm just saying, Frank managed like LeBron better than Ty Lue did, because
I know LeBron, especially in the finals, was the only opinion that really mattered, and he was the mind and soul of the Cavs. But I think Tyronn Lue did not get enough credit, and I think that he will. I don't know. At least give the Lakers a series.
Who's the starting
at
five
the
right now
very
for
least.
Clip?
Okay, wait. I have a few things to say about this. Number one reasoning: Frank Vogel is a better coach than Ty Lue. That is undisputable. If you don't say that, it's true, then you're wrong.
Sure.
Second point: Anthony Davis and LeBron are much better than Paul George. LeBron is better than Kawhi, and at the most, you could say that Kawhi is as good as AD, if not AD is better. And
Factual.
the Clippers got worse, or they stayed the same, depending on how you see it this offseason. The Lakers got better. The Lakers just won the championship.
Factual.
The Clippers made it to the second round. The
Factual.
Clippers do not have anybody that brings any sort of energy or motivation to the team, except for Patrick Beverley, who scores 2 points a game, shoots 12% from the field, and fouls out before the second half.
Yeah, it does look like Kawhi just got dumped. Like he got like broken up with after he makes a 3. So, just like I just want to point that out.
I mean,
I've never seen LeBron even come close to blowing a 3-1 lead either. So
Yeah.
this is true.
You think
he had the most points ever averaged in a Western Conference Finals. So,
Yeah.
so
And then
I
we
just-
got
I just see
Schroeder
that
and-
like the mental game of the Clippers. You could see it was so weak last year, right? As soon as they were steered
How are
off
they
their
better?
path of beating the
That's not gonna
Lakers,
change this year.
I think that will
from
at
Trev.
least compensate for the losses they had in free agency. Not make them necessarily better, just more dangerous.
Luke Kennard is going to bring that championship pedigree.
Luke Kennard is underrated.
No, he's
though.
a
He was
better-
working out
he's-
with Mike Ballian.
He's
Shout
the
out.
worst perimeter
Um,
defender I've ever seen him.
Yeah,
He's worse than Kuzma.
the man is a sniper, though. Come on.
no,
He dropped 15.
Yes,
though.
he is. He is a sniper. What do you
He's-
mean?
he's
But
cool.
Yeah.
Look, sometimes Kuzma will go for 30, but he'll let up 40 points to whoever his matchup is. So
Yeah.
it's not special. Luke
I
Kennard,
was supposed to say that.
he'll score a few threes per game, but every single time somebody tries to drive on him, they're going to score.
I knew this was going to
Yeah,
be a
I
very
think Wes-
controversial pick, but
when the
I'm sticking
Lakers
with
have-
it. I'm sticking
When the
with
Lakers
it.
have Wesley Matthews and like Kyle Kuzma as their worst.
Wesley
players-
Matthews is awful.
Yeah, but they're their worst player. They're the Lakers.
8% from three.
They're the Lakers'
I mean,
worst
I would
players.
say.
I'm just saying, like, that's
Giannis
insane.
Antetokounmpo
There's-
brothers probably your worst player.
Who?
What's the Costas?
Yeah,
Oh, well, I mean, yeah.
I thought
but
it was
on a
Thanasis,
on a
but
15-man
he's on
roster, I
the
think.
Bucks.
The worst player in the rotation is going to be Markieff Morris.
Yeah,
Oh, I
and
totally
yeah,
forgot
exactly.
about Markieff.
Did
I
you
think
see what he did? Like with
he is not bad. Like in the finals, he
was-
stepped up.
He went off, bro.
played really, really well.
Marcus
typed- I
Morris, though,
typed
that was
Hakeem
one of the
on
worst
that.
contract extensions I've seen in
Out of
years.
the Mozgov type contract.
It's so much money. And did
Who?
you see what his brother got? Literally a veteran's minimum.
Nothing. Yeah.
Like what? Like Clippers, what are you doing?
Well, yeah.
Also, the Paul George contract,
That was
so
not
dumb.
smart.
Paul George is
So
gonna be
dumb.
35 years old, making $47.5 million, and Marcus Morris is going to be 35 years old, making $16 million.
Wait, Ballmer
No,
is the owner, right? He's not the GM.
the owner.
Yeah. Okay. So I was.
But
about
their
to- okay.
GM executive of the year last year. So anyone can
Okay.
win it.
That is Sam
Anyone-
Presti's award. It should
Yeah,
be called the Sam
that's-
Presti
okay.
Executive of the Year award.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it there. Let's leave it there.
I'll leave the episode there. All right, that sounds great. All right, guys. Nick, anything you want to say to the people before we leave?
I just want to say that do not count on me for any other sports talk besides rugby. I'm a basketball fan, and I have the best perspective on that that you can find. So that's what I'm gonna bring.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
That's it.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys.